Oh man, that's crazy. But no, I think someone wanted us to, because I was gonna post this on the story. Someone commented in TikTok, on TikTok,
Yeah.
that they wanted to see what was it, a video on how to get closer to God, because they were like, a lot of us are going back to school soon.
Yeah.
Like, can you do a EP on that?
Right.
And I was like, man, that sounds like a good idea. I
It
didn't
is.
even have that down, but that would be a good thing to talk about. And then, like, obviously providing like practical steps too.
Right.
'Cause I think even in our last EP, like, it was a good convo, but I think like more in the future, making sure that like step by step, like, yo, this is
Yeah,
how you do
for
this,
sure.
like whatever that looks like at the end of the convo or whatever. But
Exactly.
that was a good question, because a lot of people like think about that. Think about that a lot and like question
Yeah.
that. But it's not really that complicated.
It's not.
Like, what would you say to that? Like, how do you get closer to God?
Me personally, just what it looked like for me when I first got saved and was trying to like grow in that relationship. My main focus at first was my prayer life, because you have to understand it's a relationship with God. No relationship can function without communication.
Facts.
If you got a best friend, you're not gonna go a whole week without talking to them. So my main focus was my prayer life, and it's like, it's not like you gotta sit down for an hour, like right off the bat. Of course, that's something you might want to work up to.
Yes, sir.
But it's all about progression. I started off, I would pray for a minute, and I add a minute every single day. So I'd pray for 1 minute one day, 2 minutes the next, 3 minutes the next, and just add it up. And it became easier like that. So I made it a priority to just progress, not get so caught up on, man, like, my dad be praying for like 15 minutes
Right.
during prayer just to pray over the food. Like, dang.
The food.
That's like, you can't get caught up on that. It's all about progression. Everyone got to start somewhere. So that's the advice I give to them personally. That's where I
That's a
started.
nice practical tip. And even with prayer, we got to understand the importance of that, because prayer is the umbilical cord to heaven. So when heaven can't speak, earth can't change.
Yeah.
So simply, at the point in which prayer is cut and or eliminated from your life, and heaven or God can't speak into your situation,
Right.
and what you're going through, then nothing can change.
That's good. That's fair.
So that's why it's so important. Of course, it's the communication piece
Right.
of staying in connection, but also that's the umbilical cord in which how God gets what's in heaven
down here.
into earth.
Yeah.
In terms of refining your mind and
Right.
tuning your spirit, whatever that looks like. But it's critical. It's
Right.
important.
Right.
It's something we overlook a lot. But no, yeah, prayer is a big one. And I'd also say, let me think. Yes, it's the basic things.
Yeah.
It's really the basic things when you're trying to grow in relationship with Christ or God. It's the little things. It just takes the discipline to keep up with it. And
It's
stay
really
consistent.
simple, like you said. Like, it's really simple, but it's just like the act of like getting that discipline down and doing it on a regular basis. That's
Your
what's
walk
hard
is going to come down to your crucifixion.
Ooh.
Your walk with Christ is going to come down to your crucifixion. How are you dying daily?
Ooh. What's that scripture?
Are you
Crucify
your
yourself
flesh daily?
daily.
Are you dying daily? In the Gospels, at the end, it says, "Go make disciples of all nations." It didn't say Christians. It didn't say believers. It didn't say those in their faith. Excuse me. It said disciples. So what does that mean? He literally said, "Go out and make disciplined people." Why would he say that? Why is that important?
God.
He's so intentional. He said disciplined people.
Yeah, it's right there.
It's because you have to crucify your flesh. That's the walk.
Are you dying to yourself?
Are you dying to yourself?
Are you burying yourself, rising again as a new person every day?
Daily. And what does that look like? What is dying daily? Oh, snap. I really want to cuss this person out. They really irking my last nerve, and I want to pop off right now, but hold up.
Really do.
Let me die.
Let me die.
Let me die.
let me kill that part of myself real quick. Let me die. That's
Let
good.
me die.
Oh,
I know my flesh is telling me I want to go out and do this.
Ooh.
I want to go out to that party. Go out to that function. I know I'm convicted about. But hold up. Look, before I do that, let me die. Let me die. Are you dying daily?
Hold on. Dang, I just got a text. I know I really want to go to this girl's house, but hey, hold on. Let me
die.
Let me die real quick.
Die.
That's what that looks like.
That's what it looks like. It's very practical. So when people say that and we mention that's what we mean, it's these daily decisions, daily actions that your flesh wants you to partake in that you know are contrary to the spirit. And you decide to follow the spirit and starve your flesh. That's dying daily. That's why you're a disciple, because you're disciplined.
Did you pick up your cross today?
Ooh.
If you didn't, it's cool. Do it tomorrow. Make sure you do it tomorrow, but,
pick it up, though.
Pick it up. Get out of bed, pick it up. Walk with it throughout the day.
Did you pick up your cross today? I like that. Wow. That's heat. Man, it's the simple things.
Really?
It's the simple things. So it comes down to, like we talked about, when grow in Christ, praying consistently.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like, and also, obviously, getting to your word.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
I'm missing a portion, bro. Like, what am I missing?
No, that's definitely very crucial. But the reason I brought up prayer first is because I felt like reading was kind of hard for me at first. So I focused on praying first and then started getting into my word after I developed that. Mm-hmm. What would you give, like, advice for people who have struggled, like, with reading? Because I feel like when I started off, it was, people be like, I don't understand it, or it's just hard for me to sit down and get into it, or, like, whatever the reason may be. Like, what advice would you give to someone that?
Right. So it really, with anything, I mean, it's a marathon, right? It's not a sprint. So you have to understand that, especially when you first come to Christ or you're early in your relationship, that you're a baby. Right?
Exactly.
In a way in which things are new to you. Now you're in a whole new environment. You're adjusting, right? So you can't eat steak.
Oh.
Why would a child, a toddler, ever eat steak? And actually, if it saw it, it would look displeasing.
Oh my gosh. I didn't expect that answer. That's fire.
If a baby saw a plate of steak, the best steak ever, no matter how good it looked, it would look displeasing.
It would.
It has no context for it. It's something that's overwhelming. It's too much. Right? And so now you have to work yourself up to it, essentially. And so just taking those, like, baby steps. Okay, like, maybe I'm going to read a verse today.
Right.
That's it. I'm going to read a verse today.
That's it.
Verse tomorrow. And I'm going to try to memorize it. Whatever it is. So now by the end of the week, I've went through 7 verses. Right? And then the next week, okay, let me read the chapter of these verses.
Right.
Then by the end of the week, I've read 7 chapters, right? And you know what? You go back and you, like, read the chapter before, read the story.
Yep.
By the end of that week, you've probably read, in some cases, maybe a whole book of the Bible.
I never thought about it like that. That's good. Because I feel like for me, it was like there was a frustration, but I had to realize that, like, you're a baby. Like, you're new to it. And it's sort of like I said, it's frustrating because it's like I was 15 when I really started getting into it. It's like I'm 15 struggling with reading my Bible. It was frustrating, but you got to realize, like, I'm a baby to this. It's sort of like starting a new life and I'm learning new things. So it's like once you get that in your mind, like, I feel like the frustration will, like, subside a little bit.
Oh,
that's
100%.
good. That's good. I never
100%.
thought about it like that.
No, but yeah, praying, being in your word, because obviously the Bible says in Matthew 4:4 that man should not love man. The Bible says in Matthew 4:4 that man shall not live on bread alone, but every word spoken from the mouth of God.
Yep.
And so, like what we talked about before, what are you feeding yourself?
What are you eating?
What are you feeding yourself? Because
I'm not talking about that Taco Bell.
I mean, your stomach's full, but what's your spirit look like?
Right.
What's the condition of your spirit? What are you doing to maintain and to make sure it's in a healthy condition?
Yep. Not off bread alone.
Not off bread alone. Period.
But every
so
word,
into word.
God. Yeah, that's good.
And then surrounding yourself with the community, right?
Oh, yeah, that's crucial.
So that's gonna be the biggest adjustment for a lot of people.
Really.
Because you have to choose. You have to choose your companionship. You're going to have to choose between companionship and purpose. Of having people around you or having God walk with you.
That's good.
Because that's going to make all the difference.
That's the choice you're going to have to make.
Because you can read all you want. You can pray every day. But if you're surrounded by... it doesn't matter. There's no such thing as a bad seed. Let me start here.
Okay.
There's no such thing as a bad seed.
Right. Talk to me.
There's only bad soil.
Ooh.
There's no such thing as a bad seed. There's only bad soil. So if we're seeds, then if we're not growing, if we're not expanding, if we're not coming into who we're meant to be, it has nothing to do with what's in us.
Ooh.
And everything to do with what's around us.
That's good. It don't even have to do with what you're feeding yourself. You could water bad soil. Oh, that's good.
Wow.
It's not about what's in you. It's not about what you're feeding yourself. You could be reading. You can be praying. You can be doing all of that. But if you in the wrong soil,
nothing gonna change.
Ain't nothing gonna grow.
Ain't nothing gonna change. That's
bad company corrupts good character.
Simple. Dang, this is heat right here, boy. God.
It really is.
Oh my goodness.
You dropping gems. He said. That's
no
good.
such thing as a bad seed. There's no such thing. You ain't never heard that before. I need to probably Google it, but I ain't never heard that before. For real. Think about that.
Neither.
Never. It's never been the seed's fault.
Oh my God.
Ain't no farmer gonna look at his crops and be like, dang, them seeds, man, I don't know about them. Them must have been.
God.
Hey, never say that.
They never do.
It was always about the environment. Oh man, it was too hot. They didn't get enough water.
It was the season it was in. It was too cold. It was oof.
It wasn't it.
Even oh my gosh. Think about it though. When farmers are looking for places to plant to get their ranch at, they looking at the soil. Like that's the first thing they look at. They look at the environment, they look at the ground. That's good.
It's gonna make all the difference. They say you're the middle of the 5 people, whatever. You're a reflection of the closest 5 people that you spend your time with.
Right.
So that's a vital. That's so important.
Really.
Who is in your circle? Who's holding you accountable, and not being passive about like what you're doing. You know, like in terms of if I see you doing, I'll never understand this. If I see you doing something stupid,
right?
I mean, dumb,
just
flat out, like, bro, this ain't
idiotic,
right? Like, I'm not gonna sit here and let you just continue in that. I'll never understand.
Me neither.
I can't. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that's about.
There are people that do that though. Like they know you shouldn't be doing this right now. It's stupid.
Then how about some afterwards? Oh man, I knew that was bad. I knew that person was bad for you. I knew that relationship wasn't something you should get into. Why didn't you say anything?
Why?
In the sake of trying to so-called not hurt someone's feelings.
Or you don't want to be a party pooper or rain on someone's parade. But like, bro.
It's like, it's their feelings or their future.
Bro, sometimes you got to rain on the parade if it's on fire, bro. What you like? Sometimes you got to do that, bro. Like,
it's your feelings, their feelings, or their future. That's the cost.
Really?
You have to choose. Because they're always going to go in 2 different directions. Always. Your feelings will take you one way, and your future will be pushing you to another. And you have to make the decision.
You have to.
It's crazy. But no, yeah. Prayer, reading your word, obviously having those people around you.
Yeah.
It's critical. It's extremely, extremely important.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything else. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think those like the main things you should focus on at first. Things you got to get